Now, so I'm going to be taking you through a program called Sustainable Production Development. So specifically, why KTH? For me as a student, why did I choose KTH? When I went through its program, it was clear to me that KTH is very innovative, not only in its researches, but also in the teaching and learning. Looking into the sustainability space, it was clear to me that KTH was leading in that space. So predominantly me, I'm a production engineer. So I was looking for a program where production engineering and sustainability can be merged. I couldn't find any program in the world. I searched entirely for many years, but up until I went into the website of KTH, that's when I found out about sustainable production development. For me, this program is a passion. It's not more like just to get a master's. It's a passion. I had to wait so many years for me to get a program like this. So in this program, there are many research thematic areas like production logistics, production development and management, and industrial dependability. In these areas, like production logistics, if I may start with production logistics, they are specifically looking into areas into internal logistics during production, and also to some extent, external logistics. This is now into supply chain and management. But in all these areas, the thematic area and focus will be sustainability. When we talk about sustainability, we are looking into either economic sustainability, social sustainability, and environmental sustainability. The same applies with production development and management. From where I was coming from, it was like production engineering is it was just engineering. But when I came into KTH and start studying, I then realized that I was doing many things in a wrong way, which I later learned that the sustainability space was more there's much research to do in that area, merging many areas into the development of these areas. Then the campus is at Industrial Park, supported by international corporations like AstraZeneca and Scania, making even our studies industry driven. Most of our lectures are also conducted by industrialists. So in that area, you not only have a perspective from an academic background, but also from another perspective. We also look into many digital skills, like in the previous webinar presentation, sustainability and digitalization in this space. KTH has a focus on gender parity, where everything that we do, it has to be sustainable in many ways, like gender, how even in our class, we have quite a sizable number of gender issues. Like, then innovation, like I said, is very, very important. It's very critical in the development of the economy, and is very important in the development of the sustainability space, of which KTH, to my knowledge, I have seen it thrive in many ways in that space. Not mentioning that in our class, we are diverse from all the continents. Based on that, because of diversity, you will learn how to handle many different races, how to interact with many different races. And this will help you in your industrial areas, like how to manage, because when you're doing a master's in engineering, by virtue of that, you are now a manager. So that diversity is very important because you are now a global professional. Now, it's not all about school. Let's talk about the hidden curriculum. There are so many things you can do as a student at KTH, like mountain running, jogging. There are a lot of jogging tracks where a pedestrian can actually have his or her space in this area. If you want to swim, there are sports arenas that accommodate swimming, even if the weather is so harsh. There are so many indoor games, just to mention a few. But when you are now into the community, you will see that there's much there's more that KTH has to offer. Things like games like lawn tennis. KTH also has a gym at the campus for students and staff. So for convenience, if you can have that, and also it has got also some discounts for students, and in some time like winter, it is reduced quite a sizable number for students to afford. Beautiful sites, yeah. At KTH, there's a very big park, which is beautiful just to take a walk, because studying at KTH, you need some grind and some skin. So sometimes you need to blow off some steam, walk into the park. And also KTH is KTH Innovation. This is meant to support students who are entrepreneurial in mind. And if you have the skin for it and the acumen for it, you can be chosen and given a grant. The grant is up to 20,000 euros. It's up for the grabs. If your innovation can test the time and challenges. Diverse groups. There are so many groups that are at KTH, which you can participate. Just to mention a few: food tech for those who love food, talent incubator if you are into digitalization, industrial analytics, bright minds, just to endeavor into areas where you showcase how bright you are. Engineers without borders. Some students get the exposure to go anywhere else in the world just to solve problems in engineering. Now, what can I tell you about KTH before, or our program before you come here? Expect fast-paced studies. For me, like in my country, our program is semesterized. Just after 4 months or 3 months, the new exams. But at KTH, the semester is split into two parts, 2 periods. So which means after first period, which is give or take 1.5 months, 2 months, thereabout, then exams. So you also have to enhance your digital skills. Just a refresher, or just to know. If you have no clue, it doesn't mean that you cannot make it, but just to have a clue what is all digitalization all about, industrial analytics all about, and so forth. Refresh your descriptive statistics knowledge. All those statistics like the Gaussian analysis, all those things you need to refresh yourself, the mean, the chi-squared, and so forth. Understand group dynamics, intelligence. Like I told you, KTH is very diverse. So which means to some extent, you have to understand group dynamics, how to handle conflicts. It's very important to have that intelligence. One other thing is take it easy, because sometimes your faculties are going to be challenged when the when the tough goes tough. You have to take it easy. Take a breather when you feel like, take a breather. Go out with some friends. If you like drinking, go and drink. If you like some fun, if you like some sports, go sporting. If you like jogging, go jogging. If you like walking, something like that. KTH has a lot of things to offer for students to refresh their minds. Now, career prospects. Career prospects, for me, I would say I would love to pursue a PhD in artificial intelligence and apply it in sustainable production development, and also to pursue my dream. I have a company in my country where, so I need to pursue that vision also, solving global problems. So that means private development. And also, I'm also back in my country. I'm also a public civil servant. So I desire to also to continue that vision in public development. What is my take here? I'm simply telling you that the sky is not the limit, because there are galaxies out there. When you do your masters with KTH, the possibilities are enormous. You can do whatever you want. So with that, I would like to thank you. So that's for anyone who wants to reach out. If you want to reach out, know more about you can go to the website and find my webpage. Then you can email me through the webpage. It's very possible, so that we can communicate if anything is not clear. So right now I'll stop recording, and
perhaps I can say a few things about requirements, so that if they have any questions, maybe they can follow up on that. Yes, good. Just to introduce myself, my name is Seyum. I am the Vice Program responsible for the program that you are currently following. And yes. So I will share here and then show you. Yes. So Yannick couldn't come today, who is the main responsible. But just to give you as the main ideas, because you might have questions regarding the admission requirements. Most of the things have been already said by Lawrence regarding, for example, the focus on sustainable production and digitalization, and the 3 research focus areas, close collaboration with research and industry. This has been already mentioned, and you can also read about that from the program website. You can also see that there are several research undertakings in different areas, which are the basis for the education, because the education is developed out of the research outcomes that are being done by the research groups that are involved in the education as well. And why do we have this program? As you have seen earlier on one of the slides, this is a relatively new program in KTH. It started in 2019. The drivers are the changing trends globally, the intensity of problems related to having unsustainable ways of living and doing business, consumption patterns globally, and the movement loops of materials and so on, globalization, and the need for industrial transformation, to mention the few. What does this program cover? It covers 2 big areas. One is about design and development of production systems, and the other is running or operating existing production systems, but improving them so that they can become relatively more sustainable. And by doing that, we try to dominantly cover at least 3 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. But it doesn't mean we don't cover the others. This is just to mention which ones you can anticipate to see much impact on and broadly covered through the education programs. As Lawrence mentioned very well, you can have impact through professional involvement in companies. In this program, we particularly focused on developing knowledge from large companies, but also applying that knowledge in smaller companies because they are engines for the global development. And if they are not sustainable, probably we will not be reaching the sustainability development goals. There are different roles that you can take in industries. Most of our graduates have already been making good impact.
Hello?
You choose, you will see that you have courses in 2 years, and in the first years you have at least 6 courses that are mandatory. And in the second year, you will have 2 courses, and finally the master's thesis that are mandatory. So all in all, you have 99 credits that are mandatory, but 21 credits you can choose any other course from the other departments, or we have one additional elective course that you could select and get in touch with. As mentioned, KTH Innovation encourages young people to do entrepreneurial engagements, and therefore it is mostly our students in the program, either they go for language courses or courses that complement technical skills, for example, digitalization, artificial intelligence, or they go for entrepreneurial courses that help them to develop their skills to become independent business owners and business developers. When you apply, you will see that there are 2 requirements, general requirement and specific requirement. The general requirement is mostly applicable for many engineering programs. Basically, it means that you have some kind of Bachelor of Science degree in engineering or in technology areas, with 3 years of equivalent education in Sweden. And you can come from mechanical, industrial, supply chain management, or other related engineering areas. And you have a general requirement of English that you can fulfill in different ways. Specifically for our program, we expect at least 2 things. One is a basic course in industrial or production engineering area. So something like operations management, production systems, production planning control, and those kind of things, or maintenance and such things. The idea is to make you much faster in your education at master's level. But we also look for statistics background. So if you have, for example, if you have been studying much earlier in your life, and you have been working and you forgot some of the statistics, we recommend that you go back and check the statistics, because we don't have statistics course, but the statistics knowledge will be applicable in some of the courses that you will do in the program. Some questions that I received by email from applicants are to see if the bachelor's degree is eligible to apply. Basically, if you have an engineering degree, then you should be eligible. However, the amount of coursework and the grade that you have, and also the mathematics and statistics courses that you have, help you to achieve higher scores, so that you can be competent to get a seat in the program, because the number of applicants is very high compared to the number of places that we offer. Additionally, we also require you to fill out a summary sheet that is now a common practice for all programs in KTH. In there, you will fill out your motivation, why you want to join this program. So that is also another way of adding merit to your program. So you can write carefully by explaining your interests and so on, so that we can see that you are actually interested to do and be successful in this program. Basically, these are the short things that I have, but if you have any questions specifically about the program, I will be here to answer them. And if you have any questions regarding Student Live and how it feels like being a student, then Lawrence can take up those questions. Thank you.